So my name is Ken Finneran. I am the Chief People Officer for the Americas at Hellman Worldwide Logistics. Chief People Officer in and of itself is quite the interesting title. Our owners about 6 years ago felt as we were rolling out our corporate DNA that we needed a C-level executive handling all people-related functions in each of our core regions, hence the Chief People Officer for the Americas, and we have one in Europe as well as one in Asia as well. Now, what that really means in terms of the responsibilities that fall on my plate, I guess you would say, are things, everything from the executive level recruitment or broad-based recruitment, talent acquisition, compensation, benefits, talent management, leadership development, succession, all of those core components that you would normally find in the HR function. Sometimes learning and leadership development is separated out. That too, especially for all of the Americas, falls underneath me. Then I'm also the brand ambassador for the organization for the Americas, as well as responsible for all of our community relations and corporate social responsibility within the Americas, and approximately a third of the risk management function in collaboration with our corporate compliance team and legal teams that handles especially all of that compliance that is employee related. The way that we view the VUCA environment, this new normal as I oftentimes call it, in VUCA standing for the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity of this new business environment, we're looking for individuals that have a certain amount of intellectual curiosity, that have a global mind or global mindset. We're looking for individuals who are, of course, operationally sound, but those who are able to interact with individuals from different cultures, so the intercultural competencies, multinational capabilities, ability to deal with the ambiguity in an integrated fashion. So folks who can, I'll say, collate different perspectives and then still come to a decision. We are not looking for folks who just bring various ideas to the table, but also folks who can take the different ideas as well as opinions coming from a whole vast, diverse perspective, and then come to and take a decision which is going to be in the best interest of the organization. The way that HR and the learning and development function in collaboration with HR can drive some of the key leadership competencies that we view as essential for success in the new normal are some of the things, at least, that we've tried to do. Let me change it that way. I think are all around developing certain capabilities. There's been so much talk around competencies, and we do have a competency model, but I believe there are leadership capabilities that are even broader than certain competencies, if you will. And we have used a couple of models. The first is what we call our 5 C's model, and that is complex communication. So driving complex communication skills, going beyond just verbal and written communication skills for our leaders to develop enhanced social communication skills, which we have done via reverse mentoring, for example, in the organization, where we pair Gen Y individuals with more seasoned executives so that the seasoned executives can pass along some of their business knowledge, whereas the Gen Y or the millennials then pass along some of their knowledge of how the executives can and should interact with that generation, but also help teach those more seasoned executives some of the best tools as well as ways to use social media. Other things, creativity and innovation. We are always asking and encouraging our leaders to be the agent provocateur. The agent provocateur challenging the norms, the processes, etc. that are in place. Beyond that, we also talk a lot about collaboration, that it's not just about strict competition anymore, and especially in a business which operates in 157 countries, it's essential for our leaders to be very adept at collaborating across borders, across functions, etc., in order to drive efficient business outcomes, and the leaders need to be the ones driving that. There are two others. One is commitment, as we call it, which is really engagement along with accountability. So leaders driving not only their own accountability, holding themselves accountable for the results, but also their teams, motivating, inspiring to raise that level of commitment within their organizations, looking for connections to those employees. And then the final one, and we actually did save the best for last, is character. We do not believe that there can be shortcuts in terms of character. It is something that we spend a lot of time talking about, values-based leadership. We believe that that is the only true type of leadership, is values-based leadership. We have a strong corporate DNA, and certainly we hold our cultural values very strong in our organization. And so really pushing elements of honesty, integrity, reliability, things like that, which are key to both our brand and our DNA, are critical to how our leaders will succeed, and we believe other leaders in other organizations can succeed in this new normal. In terms of what many organizations are seeking in the area of how to encourage leaders to be more innovative, more creative, and better in terms of taking risks, we have come up with a concept which we call fail forward fast. And now some of this is based on the concepts from Marshall Goldsmith, where he talks a lot, not about feedback, but feed forward, and then also failing forward, which is part of the lean business processes, which are becoming more and more popular. But we took that one step further to say, we encourage our leaders to take risks, calculated risks, those within their realm of responsibility. However, in addition to that, they don't have to wait until a concept or a process is 100%. We encourage them to launch it when it is 90 to 95% in best faith, and then to co-create the final solution with feedback from their customers on how to improve that even further. That's what we call fail forward fast. We don't mind if they take those calculated risks, and even if they don't work out, as long as they correct them in a rapid fire succession so that we are constantly moving forward in line with also our slogan, which is thinking ahead, moving forward. And that is fail forward fast. The one question that I would ask my peers, and have been asking many of the peers here at the HR conference, is one which we have been doing a lot of research around in the HR space globally, is around HR innovation. And the question is, how many of you would say that you have done something truly innovative in the HR or learning space over the past 12 months? That question is fantastic to ask of HR professionals, because what I have found is many of them have been doing some great things. However, they haven't been branding that back to their organization. So one of the key components of a chief people officer or even a strategic HR business partner as an HRBP is not just the HR business partner, but needs to be that HR business promoter. How are we not only doing these innovative things, but how are we truly contributing and selling the value that we're bringing to the organization, to our leadership teams, our boards, etc.?